Good afternoon, Send in the Music friends. Today's topic comes by request, and it is, how often should I tune my dulcimer, and what's the best way to do it? Let's dig in and see if we can find some answers. The process of tuning your instrument sounds like it's a pretty straightforward thing on the surface, but it's got a little bit more depth to it than you think. Let's answer the first question first. How often or when should I tune my instrument? Well, you should tune your instrument every time you're going to play, whether that's for practice or just for fun. And it really just takes a couple minutes, but there's a good reason for it. Anytime that you pick up your instrument and make sound, not only are you practicing or playing for fun and relaxation, but you don't know it, but you are practicing ear training as well. You've probably heard that phrase before, and let's define ear training. Really, ear training is just teaching yourself and your hearing to identify different pitches in music. It really underlines just about everything we do on this instrument, whether that's playing melody or harmony. If you can recognize things by ear, then everything is going to get just a little bit easier to comprehend. The more time you spend with your hands on your instrument and identifying the sounds that are coming from it, the easier it's going to be for you to pick up just even simple melodies by ear later. And if you're in tune, that's going to make that process a lot easier. So let's take a look at a few of the ways that you can get your dulcimer in tune, and so you can start building that ear for music. One of the first things you might think about when it comes to tuning your dulcimer, if you don't already have a tuner, would be to use another musical instrument where you know where to blow that D note. For example, here on these pitch pipes, we have the D clearly marked. Same thing with this tin whistle. So we know if we have all the holes covered in this tin whistle and blow softly, we should get a low D. And then we have, this is a C harmonica, but if you look on the chart, they have numbered on the side 1 and 4 holes on this is a D. So if you already have a musical instrument where you can find D, that's one of the ways you can go about it. The other way that is probably a little bit easier is if you have access to a piano keyboard. If you don't know how to play the piano and you don't know how to locate middle C, there's a couple ways you can do that too. The easiest way to do is to hop online, and we go right over here, and we're going to Google how to find a middle C on a piano, and it's going to bring up about a bazillion images. So just pick one that you think is likely. Like right here, it shows you that the C is going to be next to the two black keys that are close together. So we go back over to our keyboard, and here are two black keys side by side, or close together. So here is C. Now on a keyboard, all of the white keys are going to be no sharps, no flats. So that's what the black keys are for, or your sharps and flats. So if this is C, we know this is D. So now you can tune your D string. Now you match that to your dulcimer. This might be a little high, so we look for another D. So it's going to be the same white key in between the two black ones close together. So an octave up from this D is this one. So we have D here, we have D here, and we can also go down and find D here. Now if we know the white notes are, or the white keys are all notes with no sharps or flats, so we know if this is C and D, we just count our alphabet. C, D, E, F, G, A. So here's an A. You can tune your middle string. Now, if you don't have access to a keyboard, here's a real cool thing too. We go back to our laptop, and I found this virtual piano. It's virtualpiano.net, and they give you a keyboard online. So we just looked up middle C, so we know that this is a C, and there's a D. And look, it tells you up here that this is a D4. So when you hit the key, that says that it's in this box up here. You now see that that is C. So we know we have a D here. That's D4. And then you go up here and you have another D. That's D5. That just means it's an octave or a pitch higher. Okay, I've got my tuner clipped on, and when it comes on, I have it set, it's kind of hard to see, but I have it set to C. If you hit the button a few times, you can see down here in this corner, it goes from C to G, B, V, and U. Those are all different settings. We're just worried about the key of C, and that's going to just give us the best result. The way it works is you want the tone to line up exactly in the middle of the tuner. If it goes to the right, that means the note is getting sharp. And if it goes to the left, that means the note is getting flat. So kind of remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So when I pluck my low D string, all right, this is already in tune. It's kind of right there in the middle where I want it. Now you see there, I plucked it pretty hard and it kind of went a little over to the right. So it was bending a little sharp. But right there in the middle of D is where we want. Now, for example, if I were to loosen this, you can hear that it sounds a little sour, but you can see that those bars are way to the left of the middle. So that's telling us that we want to go right to tighten the string and make it a little sharper. Tighten it a little bit and give it another pluck. It's getting better. Little tighten. Little tighten. Pluck again. A little tighten. Almost there. One more time. There we go. Now you can see that right in the middle, we're getting the blue line for an in tune D. And it sounds pretty good to our ear too. When you pluck one, you want to kind of just very lightly put your finger on the other two so they're not resonating, because you really just want the tuner to hear that one string. What happens is when you pluck one, the other two are going to vibrate a little bit in sympathy. So we want to get rid of those overtones. And you don't push down. All you want to do is just barely touch your finger to the strings so you're deadening them so they're not making any noise. So that tuner just reads the one string that we're testing right now. Okay, the last thing I'll mention is that there are a lot of free apps for smartphones that give you tuners. Now those work really well if you're at home in a quiet environment. But the problem is they're very accurate, but they're also very sensitive. So if you're out somewhere with a lot of background noise, or if you have other musicians trying to tune up around you, it's going to be kind of difficult to get your bearings. That's why I like the clip-on tuners better if you're going to be out. But at home, you get the same type of thing on a cell phone tuner. It's going to go up or down based on how close you are to the tone. Remember, anything to the right of the note you're trying to hit is a little sharp. Loosen your strings. Anything to the left of the tone you're trying to achieve is a little flat. So tighten your strings. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. All right. I hope that was a good overview for you. It's a fun topic and there's a lot to take in, even though it seems kind of simple on the surface. So keep strumming and we'll see you next time.